Hi guys, this is a series of educational videos designed to educate those people who are considering laser eye surgery through the eyes of an optician. It's the 29th of July 2015, and it's been 5 hours since my LASEK eye surgery at one of the Optical Express branches. Um, I'm still feeling fairly light sensitive, and that's one of the reasons why they actually advised me to bring my sunglasses with me. There you go, which are quite important and very cool at the same time. Okay. Um, my eyes are still fairly watery, and that's one of the reasons why the vision is not so good at present. Um, I'm feel I'm uh, I'm also feeling a little bit lightheaded, and that's why beforehand I actually made a few notes on paper that I'll be discussing with you guys. So forgive me if I just look over my shoulder once in a while. What can I say? Prior to the surgery, on the day and actually a month beforehand, they took a series of tests that they did repeat as well. Just like to run through those particular tests. One of those was, well, first of all, it was the prescription analysis, trying to find out your full prescription and to check the stability. Secondly, was the corneal thickness, which is also important to see what procedure most suits you. And thirdly, there was also there was also a new innovation. It's called wavefront. Optical Express do this, well, have this technology, and it's named under the eye design range. What it means is essentially further minimizing ways to reduce imperfections in your vision, and it does cost a little bit more, but in my opinion, it is worth it. What can I say? The most popular of the two procedures involved is LASIK with an eye. Now, what does this involve? It involves actually cutting a flap in the upper surface of the eye. The surgeon essentially peels back that flap and then uses laser to reshape the surface of the eye. After the procedure, the flap is then reinserted to its original position. Beforehand, obviously, anesthetic drops are used. So, excuse me, anesthetic drops are used so you don't really feel any kind of sensation during the operation. For those people who are considering it, to also consider certain factors in terms of your suitability. Now, if you want to have a profession of playing contact sports or enjoy that as a hobby, may not be suitable for you because the actual flap can actually dislodge under those kind of circumstances. Dry eyes is another factor. If you have moderate to dry eyes, certainly not only the procedure cuts the corneal flap, but it also cuts the corneal nerves, which are there to stimulate tear production. So this effect can be temporary or or even permanent. Depends on the extent and how the actual corneal nerves regenerate afterwards. Thin corneas usually are not suitable for this procedure, and furthermore, pupil size. Now, if you have medium or large pupil sizes, it can generally put you at risk of developing halos, especially during night. So if you are a keen driver, or essentially driving is important in terms of your lifestyle, then certainly and of course you have large pupils, then this procedure may not be suitable for you. There were two key areas which made me consider LASEK instead of LASIK, and those two key areas were, one, dryness of my eyes. I've been a keen contact lens wearer, and dryness is something that has affected my eyes. Essentially, that's the reason why. I couldn't really wear contact lenses for elongated periods of time. And secondly was my pupil size. It was on the borderline of being medium to large, so I opted for the other surgery. This surgery, recovery time is longer, and the vision vision is also you will not see instant results. It's a progression. So the more the eye heals, essentially the vision will will come in time. Usually it's about a week. I mean, at the moment, as I've stated, my eyes are still a little bit watery, and vision is not so great. What does this procedure involves? No flap, no cut procedure. Essentially, alcohol is used to loosen the outer epithelial layer of the cornea. This epithelial layer usually regenerates after 4 to 7 days. Um, Now, once the epithelial layer is removed, laser is then used to reshape the inner surface of the eye, just like the other procedure. There's also a particular drop that is being used or starting to be used more during these procedures, which is mitomycin C. Mitomycin C is an anti-cancer agent for years, but it's been recently been used in terms of the eyes to reduce corneal haze and clouding after the operation. So essentially, it aids healing. Obviously, prior to the operation, anesthetic drops are applied. So I generally did not sense any pain during the operation, only the sound of the laser and the vacuum, essentially. After the surgery, a bandage contact lens is placed over the eye, and this contact lens just protects the eye surface for about 4 to 5 days. You need to be wearing this, and you can sleep in it, essentially. And after the surgery, what I was advised on is a certain series of drops. I'd just like to go through these particular drops one by one. Firstly, it's levofloxacin. Now, this is an antibiotic, and it's been advised to use about 4 times a day for about a week. And this essentially is there to reduce the risk of infection. Secondly, is a steroid eye drop, fluoromesalone. There you go. This is there to reduce the inflammation of the eye, and it's also quite important. Also advised to be used 4 times a day for the first week, and then slowly taper down because essentially it is a steroid. Finally, something quite important, which is intensive tears or ocular lubrication. This is important throughout the procedure, and also a number of days after the contact lens has been removed. The ones that were recommended after speaking to the surgeon were preservative-free drops, and essentially preservative-free drops are better for the healing of the eyes. A few of the drops that have been advised with this one here, Blink eye drops, and they are preservative-free. They come in particular minims. You just take one out like this. These are particularly good because they are resealable as well. So if you like to, well, let's try one out. Eyes are feeling a little bit dry. Essentially, that's good. Essentially, it has a lid as well, so it can be reused a little bit later. The other drops that I have been using prior to even having the surgery is something called Hycozan. This is very good. It's also preservative-free. Now, I'm not endorsing any of these products. Essentially, these are just drops that have been advised to use. Also, they are ones that I have been particularly useful. Well, have been using particularly and have found very useful. And lastly, what they've given me to use is goggles. Now, they're night goggles. They don't offer me any particular vision, but they're there to use while I sleep. So essentially, it's just to aid and protect the eyes. So I'm feeling a little bit tired. I'm off to bed, and you can essentially take a few painkillers as well. And finally, just before I switch off, they've also given me the use of an anesthetic drop, and what's being given is tetracaine. Now, it's it is a it is termed, these drops are actually well, they're termed magic drops because after about 60 seconds, any kind of pain sensation that you are feeling, it kind of disappears. Now, it's not been advised to use this all the time because the more you use it, the more it can slow the rate of healing. Essentially, if you are going to be using it, only, well, use it, but also after about a minute or so, you may want to also use the ocular lubrication to dilute the effect. So if you do really need to use it, do use it, but I'm trying to keep away from it because it's going to affect the healing. So good, I'm off to bed and I'll keep you guys updated. Take care.